There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
We gotta fight the powers that be. Got so many voices. Sit on the scene.
Yeah, so many voices. Well, you know, we're trying to be our own voice, have a voice. That's what we're working on here on Declare Your Independence. It's been an effort that's been going on for a long time, and a lot of people have tried to add theirs and be an inspiration to others to have something to contribute to. And I wanted to ask Dean, you know, to comment on being an individual that was I guess you'd call him a prepper, you know, back in the 90s and so on. Definitely he was prepared for a lot of things. Well, that made him a threat to the man. They don't want you to be prepared. You know, and I'll tell you, it was very interesting during the Clinton administration and so on. They were having anti-hoarding laws that they wanted passed. You know, these people got too many diapers and too much and baby formula, and you're not allowed to stock up on them. I'm like, seriously? You know, and then we all have, you know, a gas line broke here in Arizona one time. They wanted to, you couldn't hoard up gasoline, or they were charging too much, you know, scalping prices, they said, and just, you know, crazy talk like this. And you're going, wow, man, I see, you know, we're going down the dark side on that one. So what we did is I wanted to ask Dean, what is it that is different now on the list of something, and what would be the same of the kinds of things that we should be accumulating, you think, in your opinion? And what are the people online saying? Because you deal with a lot of these people. They're out there talking about getting their whatever, and after they get past of whether 30-06 is better than 308, you know, when they get past that crap, you know, they're down to what they think you need.
Well, again, this debate has been going on for a long time about whether you should bug out or bug in. You know, should you try and get out of town and away from the craziness, or should you try and hole up and just wait for it all to end and be one of those who comes out afterward to rebuild? And, you know, there's arguments to be made on both sides. But what's different today is that there is a greater awareness. Let me put it this way. When the survivalist movement first started in 79 and 80, it was in a time similar to now. It was the Carter administration. The economy sucked. Everything was expensive. Inflation was going through the roof. And one of the key concerns at that time, the reason people wanted to prepare to survive, was they thought there might be an economic breakdown, a general breakdown of society, not necessarily an invasion by a foreign army or anything like that. That same original concern is coming up again now when the economy sucks, when inflation is about to explode. And so a lot of these old original ideas about what one should do to prepare are becoming popular again. You know, be able to farm, have basic skills like knowing a little bit of blacksmithing is maybe not bad, because you may not be able to go to the hardware store to buy a nut or a bolt or a tool, things like this.
Magazines like, you know, Country Living and, you know, blah, blah, blah. All these, you know, people are subscribing to. They're becoming popular. The articles are being sent to me to put up on Freedom's Phoenix. You know, I recognize these magazines from back, heck, when I was in freaking high school, you know.
Well, regarding fuel, you can look at what happens criminally to get a clue for what is the emphasis that people are concerned about when resources get scarce or they get expensive. Right now, gas is expensive. In recent years, there's been a move for people to learn how to make their own biofuel for their diesel. You make biodiesel. And you can do it a number of ways, but the most popular way is just used cooking grease. Go ahead and refine it, add a little bit of whatever the other chemical is to it, and you have a fuel.
All you gotta do is filter it and just throw it in the tank.
Yeah, it works a little bit better with some additives, but yeah, if your engine is set up properly, you can just run it straight. But now it's gotten to the point, I read just yesterday, people are stealing the used cooking oil at the backs of restaurants. Used to be you could go to a restaurant and say, hey, I'll help you dispose of that stuff. And it's a biohazard.
I remember at my restaurant, I paid people to haul it off.
Exactly, because it's a biohazard waste product, and the city doesn't want it in their sewers. They'll find you if they catch you dumping it in the sewer. So there were services that popped up and say, yeah, for a minimal fee, we'll take it off your hands. Well, now there's people coming to the restaurant saying, no, I'll take it for free. Heck, I'll even pay you a little bit to get ahead in the line from this other guy and get it from you. Well, now people are so desperate for it, they're just stealing it.
because in a lot of restaurants you'll see it looks like a mini dumpster out back, and it's something they'll dump or they pump out or something. And if I remember, Chris Rye and Corey, they went around the country doing interviews for the movie For Liberty, the Ron Paul Revolution, and they did it with biodiesel. They had a diesel Mercedes. They were going around, and they went all over the country for like almost nothing. They had Michael Moresco with them, and I remember them going, we're just, you got a restaurant around here somewhere. So this is how they were fueling themselves. And so it's not like it's something in the future. It's happening now. But the value of things, I mean, tell me about on the gun list and so on, all of these guys that are talking. Well, what is it they're talking about? Things like silver. What's their thing on the economics?
Well, there's a lot more interest in silver and gold and commodities in general, like food, than ever before. I was one of the first guys on one of the local gun websites I hang out on to talk about, hey, silver is going up in price. Silver is undervalued. Maybe you might want to buy some. Make a little money, make some profit, have a good time. And a lot of guys, they were more concerned about gun stuff. They weren't really paying attention to economics. And everybody was shy, in fact, after the housing bubble. They figured, well, if prices on metals and other commodities are going up, isn't that just another bubble? I don't think I want to participate. Well, here we are now where silver is, about to top $50, and everybody's going, well, maybe I should get some silver after all. Some guys already did get some years ago or only months ago, but with the sudden rise, are thinking that, okay, maybe now silver is a bubble. I disagree with that. I think it's not, but that's neither here nor there. They think it is. And suddenly, all of a sudden, on all these gun websites, you got the guys who have silver wanting to get rid of it. And there's a whole bunch of people who previously didn't get silver who are thinking, well, I think I want to buy that. And suddenly silver is changing hands everywhere.
Or there's a lot of people know that it's still a bargain. Yeah, I'll buy your silver.
Exactly.
Moron. So it is going to skyrocket and bubble, and it'll have a correction, and it'll just keep going because they'll never stop printing money. I mean, until the dollar is done. And when the dollar is done, silver is going to be $11 trillion, but that, we may not even using that currency anymore. One thing, stat I had Bernard von Nothaus, the Liberty Dollar guy, on a few days ago, and he goes, at the beginning of the hyperinflation in Germany in the Weimar Republic before World War II, he said it was 12 marks for an ounce of silver. By the time of the hyperinflation thing was done, it was in the, I think he said billions. 12 to billions. Mm-hmm. Zimbabwe stuff, man.
Right.
So is the dollar going that way? I mean, are they talking about that? Does it concern them at all?
Oh, yeah, everybody's concerned about it, because gun guys, preppers, and people who prepare, who we would call survivalists, tend to be conservative in the political spectrum. They tend to be Republicans or libertarians. And so, yeah, they're, by nature of that, they follow what goes on economically, and they're concerned about it. Along those lines, what gun people specifically are concerned about is the price of ammunition and its availability. Because what a lot of people might not be aware of, unless you are a gun person, is that about 1.5 to 2 years after the war in Iraq kicked off, there was a delay in the effect of all that use of ammunition by the U.S. military and other militaries around the world. Surplus ammunition became non-existent. And when surplus ammunition became non-existent and the supply began to dwindle for civilian consumption, the prices went sky high. You used to be able to buy a particular bullet for 15 cents. Now it was going for 35. And guys who were used to budgeting a certain amount for recreational shooting to go out every weekend or every other weekend and spend $50 are now finding out they have to spend $150. And that took a while to equalize. The prices for that are now finally coming down. A lot of people are finally saying that after having experienced the absolute shortage and unavailability of some ammunition after Obama was elected and the panic that people felt over that, a lot of people are saying ammo is cheap now, get it now, because if anything ever happens again, we're going to have another shortage like after the Obama election. You won't be able to buy it no matter how much money, how much silver you have, and you'll be able to trade it like currency. Problem is, that creates another problem. If you trade your bullets to other people, and they see you've got good stuff, Might they use those bullets to come back and get the rest of your stuff?
You know, the one thing we started learning to do reloading here, and Dean's helped me with that, and we've made a lot of the activists, not like a big secret. You know, everybody comes here and reloads and whatever. I said, and my deal is, I go, yeah, reload all your whatever. You want to do 1,000 something on, give me 100 and, we're square, just to use all the stuff. What happened is that we found out when we started doing the reloading, you couldn't get primers for a long time. And whenever you had certain components, there was bullets here, the actual bullet, the casing, you reuse a lot of that. Little things, you just couldn't get components. Well, now it's getting to where you can now, so it's time to stock up. Because if you don't, and you need it later, we already experienced, and it hadn't even got that bad yet, it was impossible to get. Think how impossible it's going to be when you really, really, really need it. Everybody get ready. It's all coming. If we know it's coming, then we don't have to be afraid of it. We can get ready. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.